He discovered that he had kidney cancer, a tumor in one of his kidneys, and he had to have it removed. And then the hip became a problem, and he started having other health issues as well. And that kept going until, he got the ASR out.
Dean Goetz.
When John Gomez and I went to meet Bill for the first time, he was really ill. We were concerned, of course, we going to get involved in this case and then, get close to the finish line and Bill dies. And the case is then over. I said, Bill, you're from Montana. You're tough. I said, you need to tell us that you are going to make it. And he paused for a moment. And then he said, yes, Dean, I'm going to make it. I'll be there. I said, okay, we're going to go. We're going to do this. The short-term plan was to manage perception. Their words, manage perception. In other words, lie like hell. Don't tell them anything. And after that, they ran the ads that said 99.2% effective.
Dean, tell me about the revision division.
Well, actually, that's a term that I made up, I guess. But what happened was this. At some point, Depuy is replacing a lot of ASRs. And they know they're doing this. And their doctors or surgeons are doing it. And so they wanted to make sure they sold the doctors another Depuy device, usually the Pinnacle. And then they thought, wow, what a great opportunity. Okay, they're taking it out. We get to sell them another one.
That is extraordinarily cynical business practice, isn't it?
I just, if it wasn't true, you wouldn't believe it. Some of these things, you just wouldn't, you couldn't imagine a company being such a bad citizen. Well, I refer to it as Exhibit A because it was, in my opinion, all we needed to prove that this Depuy ASR XL was defective. The president and 7 other high executives signed it, all of them. And they checked the box that said defective and likely to cause harm in human beings. How do you now come and say it's not defective? It's like, okay, end of case. Liability is proven.